Okay, here's the bike arriving at the shop. This is Steve's truck. You saw that. It's just fascinating. That whole platform just lifts up and goes on the back of the truck. Level, flat, beautiful little bike. This is a bike the fellow got from an estate. It hasn't been run in about 10 years. And we're going to get it running. Isn't that just pretty? So, go walk around here. And goodness gracious. Isn't that something? That's lovely. All right. Oh, look at dual front brakes. My goodness. Nice tail section. Just, oh, this will be interesting. License plate from 16. The tag is up here. But this is the old Arizona plate that was way too small. There's a story about that. I got them to go to big plates. But anyway, October of 2016, last time it was on the road. So, isn't that something? Let me show you how this bike lift works. Okay, it does tilt a little. Okay, I was wrong. It doesn't go flat. Lifts up like that. There you go. All right. Later, Steve. Thank you.
All right, take care. Thank you.
Okay, well, there it is in the shop. And it is one pretty bike. It really is. Just got some really nice features. The tag is a 70, but it's got a 16 on it, so that's been a while. And interesting, they drilled this aluminum. Isn't that neat? I like that. So this is kind of low, but I don't care. Normally it's up higher, but that looks good down there. Dual front brakes. Isn't that something? Dual hydraulic front brakes. Just gorgeous. Not just, I don't know. That was silly of me to say that. Sorry. Dual hydraulic front brakes. How do you do that? Huh. I'm impressed. Bet this thing runs like a scared rabbit when it runs. All right, so let's go back to working on Fred. Well, slight change of plans. I have Fred over here next to my bike and the yellow bike and what I refer to as the gold bike. Some folks call it the brown bike, but I call it the gold bike. And the yellow bike doesn't have a side stand. So it's on the center stand, and I forgot that. Now I could stand in that narrow spot between the two bikes, take the bike off of the center stand perfectly safely. I know I can. I'm not going to. So we'll just wait till Kevin gets here and can stand safety while we take it off the center stand and then put it on the lift. And I'm going to order a new side stand for the bike because I can put these bikes on center stands just fine, thank you very much, but I do not feel confident in doing so, so why take a chance? So when Kevin gets here, we'll put it on the lift together.
Empty one. Oh, make me happy. Nope, not that one.
All right, so we're dumping the sump. Dump the sump, dump the sump. Okay, so it's pretty well dumped right now. What that says is all the oil that was up here in the oil tank, which measured empty when we took the dipstick out, has over the years flowed down through the rotary oil pump and into the sump. Now we take it out before we start kicking on the bike. There's such a thing as hydraulic lock. I don't think that you can get into a hydraulic lock situation with kicking it over. Maybe you could with an electric starter. But hydraulic locks are bad because you can bend things, you know, like connecting rods. So on a 10-year bike, we always dump the sump and get the soil out of there, put the sump, we'll take this filter's assembly part just to see what's in it. Put it back in and then put 1 or 2 quarts of oil in the oil tank. We will also recommend to the client that we take the timing cover off over here and send it to Tucson, to AMR, to have them put in the anti-drain down valve that is reminiscent of the 1975 bikes that have it built in. And that keeps the oil from draining down into the bike while it sits idle over any extended period of time. So that's something we always recommend. And then, because we're going to have this cover off, we might as well, those 3 words that get us in so much trouble, we might as well suggest that we put in an electronic ignition. Because it's just as much effort to put in a electronic ignition as it is to put points back in and set the timing. And you get better timing with electronic. So right now we've got 3 things we're going to suggest to this client. 1, a side stand. 2, the AMR mod. 3, an electronic ignition to go in here. So at this point in time, that's where we are. Now, what we're going to do now, I've got oil. I've got plenty of oil up there.
Yeah.
I wondered, I couldn't remember if I had yet, so I've got plenty of oil up there. So what we're going to do now is clean that sump filter, put it back in, put 2 quarts of oil into the tank, and at that point in time, we'll be ready to kick it over and start a check for spark, okay? We've got the battery replaced. The test battery is over there on the other side. It's hooked to the hot wire here and wrapped in a cloth to make sure it doesn't touch the body, and grounded to the frame right here. And it's sitting right here, so it can be turned on and off with this toggle switch like so, and it's fused through this 7.5-inch fuse built into the test battery. So that way we have a fused electrical system, and we'll have fresh oil into it and be ready to do a kick over and check for spark. That's where we are. Okay, this is neat. This is the drain. This is the filter. We're going to take that apart. Somebody has welded a nut on there and put a bolt into it with a copper washer to make a drain. Because this, on this model, this nut is right up against the frame crossover under there and very difficult to get to. Matter of fact, I'll show you. On my socket that I use on these older bikes, I've actually ground it down all the way around just to clear that frame. This is a much nicer, this is nice. So anyway, we're going to clean this out now. All right, nice and clean. There's basically these little bits of probably gasket material and nothing metallic, nice and clean inside. And we're going to put this back together. Okay. Okay, so we've got the sump drained and the plug back in, filter cleaned. Kevin is putting in about 1.5 quarts of oil. We had a full 1.5 quarts, so we stuck that in there. That's fine for the startup, when we do it. Battery's hooked up. All I have to do is throw the toggle switch and the bike will be live. We're gonna kick it over by hand right up here in the air because we're just checking for spark, and there's no need to put it down and kick on it by foot. But let's just see if we have ignition at this point in time with the stock ignition switch points. Okay? You okay with that?
Yeah,
Are we ready to try for spark?
Yep.
Okay, then let me see. Let's see if I can turn this on one-handed, or you can hold it.
Yeah.
Let's check for any.
I don't see any lights.
That's true. There aren't any lights up
Any
there.
idiot lights.
Huh? Nothing. All right. Key is on. This is a one-way key. It's on or off. It's on now. Let's see if we got any.
See, no,
Nothing up there. No lights.
is your battery on?
Thank you. Okay, here goes the battery. Let's watch for smoke or pop. Okay, we have a live bike at this point in time.
Yep. We got headlight.
Do you?
Yep.
I don't see it.
Yeah. It's very dull.
That's
It's very dim. And then we got the
okay. So
lights
we have
there.
headlight.
So we've
do
got.
we have high beam, low beam? Yeah, we do. Okay.
It's just real weak.
All right. Well. Okay. Let's see. Do we have tail light? Give me lights on. Yeah, we got tail light. Okay. Hit the
Push the brake just for the yucks. We got brake light.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So good. We have a live bike. Let's kick her over and see if we have spark.
Ready?
You ready to stroke?
Yeah.
Okay. Stroke away. I'm gonna just.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I got a spark here. Yeah. I got a good spark.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah. I see it.
Yep. We're good.
Do it again so I can get a better shot.
Yeah. Yeah. Take 3.
All right. It's moving so much I can't see it. I did see the spark.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got spark. Do you know what? At this point in time, we could put gas in this thing and see if it'll run.
Sounds good to me.
You know?
Yeah.
Let's do that. All right, before doing the kickover, we took these fancy-dancy pilot jet cleaner probes that we have and cleaned the pilot jets. Kevin's was sort of dirty. Mine was so dirty I had to actually use this like a drill because it actually is a drill. Can I get that to focus down? You can see the actual drill bit in the end of it. I actually had to spin my side like a drill to get through the clog in the primary jet. So our pilot jet, excuse me. So they're clean now. And you buy these, all the dealers have them. So this is what they look like. And I bought 10 of them. And this is from Lowbrow Customs. And that's what you buy. And I stock them and give each client one, and which they usually lose before they get all the way home. But at least I've given one on and I show them how to clean the pilot jets. So anyway, we keep 2 so that Kevin and I can work simultaneously. And let me do a zoom in here. I'll try to show you the tip. See how the tip is an actual drill bit? I literally had to use my side. I had to use it like a drill bit to get through the clog. So, worth their weight in gold. Okay, we've just written new shop rule number 42, which is always check to make sure the petcocks work before putting gasoline in the gas tank. This petcock on this side is completely and totally jammed, and the petcock on Kevin's side, he was able to turn it, but it's not getting gas flow. So at this point in time, we just put 1.5 gallons of gas in it, which we now have to get out of the bike in order to take the petcocks out in order to get gas flow to the carbonizers. At the same time, you know what? Let's drop the bowls off. We might as well, at this point, we'll drop the bowls off and take a look inside the carburetors at the same time. Right now, we just got to get the gas out of that tank and the petcocks out of that. Okay, here we are. We've cleaned the petcocks, got good gas flow. We got a good tickle. We have battery hooked up and we have electricity to the bike. And ignition is on and Kevin is going to kick on it.
Ignition's on now. Yeah.
Ignition's on now.
All right, ready?
And now if it shows any indication that it wants to run, we will open the garage door.
Okay, am I on
Matter
the
of
way
fact,
all?
if it starts to run, go ahead and kill it right after you first get it running, and then we'll open this garage door,
Will do.
okay?
Okay.
Let's see what happens. We got oil in it, we have spark, we have compression, we have Kevin. That's a good
Like
scene.
that.
Okay,
Okay.
let's open the garage door.
Yeah, she wants to run.
Now it looks like is light on or is that just brake? That must be brake.
Be great. Yeah, switch is off.
I think we have a stuck brake switch somewhere.
Okay.
We'll find out. Unless that's a live tail light. Is the ignition on or off now?
Ignition's on.
Okay, now do we have an extra brake light back here? Or is this brake light just shining? That is brake
That's
light,
brake
not
light.
tail light.
Yeah.
Let me see.
There, okay.
So that's tail light, that's the lights off. That shouldn't be on, so that's probably a
Brake.
stuck brake switch
Yeah.
somewhere. All right, so at this point in time, you're ready to start it again. Let's
Mhm.
get it started. We'll check oil flow
Mm-hmm.
and see what it wants to do for a living. It's trying.
Yeah.
We do another tickle.
Yeah, I did give it another tickle. I just want to tighten this down.
We do have a choke on this one too.
Yeah.
So we got
Try a couple more without choking. I'll try to choke.
all right. We try choke.
Yep.
We did clean the spark plugs, by the way, and we do have spark.
Yep. Blue fuse.
No,
No, it came on.
Nope, you still got tail light.
Yeah. Okay. I just heard a pop.
No, no.
I think it was my knee.
Oh, I think it was your knee.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Hmm. Tickle again. No, with no.
Yeah, I'm wondering, you know, if there was bad gas in those bowls, that's clogged up the pilot again.
Well, let's give it a couple more
Yeah.
kicks, then we'll pull the.
Yeah, let's us.
Let's. You like that? That's the royal let's. And then we'll take the
She wants to.
carburetor floats off.
Yeah.
We'll open them up. It seems to try more right after a good tickle.
Yep, exactly. It's gas flow. It's really sloppy.
All right. All right, let's put it up in the air
Yep.
and check the, we'll drop the float bowls and check to see if the inside of the carburetor is clean. All right, that's what we're going to do now. All right, I think we've just defined shop rule number 48. 10-year bikes, always drop the carburetors bowls off at least. This is the dead gas that's in there, nice and dirty. And this is the main jets. You can see that they're pretty dirty. Let's see if we can see air through, light through that at all. Yeah, I think I can, yeah. So it's not clogged all the way. Yeah.
Yeah, these pilots are kind of clogged again too.
Okay, so we're going to clean the pilots again.
Yeah.
We're going to clean these main jets. We're going to dump this out. Matter of fact, I'll dump it out. Let's see what's at the bottom of it. Wow. Brown gas. Oh my goodness gracious sakes alive. Kevin, look at the bottom of this bowl. We screwed up. We really need to. We have we're establishing rule number 48. Float bowls get cleaned before we even try to start them.
Take shortcuts and that's what happens.
You know, that's exactly true. You take a shortcut.
Yeah, and you end up spending more time.
And you end up, yeah, seriously. Okay, we're going to clean this stuff and put it back together. All right, since the float bowls were so cruddy, and they are cruddy, that's a scientific term, a technical term that we use here in the shop, cruddy. Cruddy dirty, yes. We took the, we pulled the slides out. The slides themselves are clean. The insides of the carbs are clean. Kevin's gonna redo the primary jet cleaning just because, and shoot some cleaner through the different orifices and crevasses. when we pulled the needles out, this needle is dirty. We're going to clean it, and the clip is in the third position. This needle is dirty, and the clip is way down here. What this is from is when somebody pushed that slide in, they couldn't get it to go, so they tried harder, which pushed it way up. And so anyway, if the needle doesn't slide in there gently and lovingly, bad things happen. I've actually had them come out of here bent, where people have forced them into the carburetor. So I'm going to start cleaning these needles and these bowls, and Kevin is over there doing a recheck and clean on the pilot jets, and then we'll put this back together, all of this. All right, we've got the carburetors all cleaned up. Now, first of all, over here, Kevin went through and shot cleaner through every orifice and every passageway, and got good spray up here, spray out here, spray in there, spray down there. So the bodies are clean, okay? Over here, Kevin, why don't you sort of eyeball this that way? I'll talk about some of the things we do over here. First of all, these passages are a good thing to check them like so with the needle. And then if they're in any way, shape, manner, or form clogged, the right drill bit going through there will clean out anything that's in there. These are important because one of them feeds the pilot jet. I think that feed the pilot jet fuel. And both of them are important because one works on the left carb and one works on the right carb. So after you clean them off, what we do is we take the Q-tip stub and make sure it goes all the way down to the bottom. Nice and clean, all right? Well, while we're working on this gas needle valve seat needs to be cleaned. We take a little bit of fine valve lapping compound, go in there and clean it so like so with the Q-tip. Keeps it nice and clean. Then the second thing I use this for is a little bitty bit on your fingertip, and you can clean all the grunge off these needles like so and polish them, and they're nice and clean without being scratched. Okay, then you clean it off. We take these jet bodies apart, clean the needle jet body and the main jet, clean them individually, go all the way through them, and make sure with a body of a Q-tip it'll fit all the way through, nice and clean. Then you tighten those down, of course. So at this point in time, we have these carbs all ready to be put back together. But before we do that, now that we've done all this, we're going to make sure that the float is correct, and I think it's wrong. I think the float right now is set way too, let's say, high. In other words, the fuel level's too high. When you hold these in place and use a X-Acto knife, for example, and touch down on this, see, that's above the level. When you hold that down, this right here should be right about, let's call that 1/8 of an inch. It should be, let's make a mark. I like to set it right about there, just below the level of the top. Some people will say that's too low. I prefer a little too low than too high. So you can see that's way too high. That's flooding the carburetor. So what we're going to do is heat the body, come in from the other side with a tap, and tap this seat up just a little bit. Okay, we'll do that on a separate video. All right, good, we're done. Yep, cool. Stop it, okay? All right, the way we do this is we're going to warm it up with the heat gun. This is a special punch that I ground down. Where's my viewpoint? There it is. No other job than to punch this seat down. This is its only job in the whole wide world, is to fit through this tiny little hole, catch the edge of the seat, and let me give it a tap ever so lightly. I think that went too far. Let's see. Well, it's actually pretty close just by eyeball. I'm going to give it just a little bit more tap. That looks good. Let's see how it works. Oh, wait, way too high again. Oh, this isn't it, I'm sorry. That little pin. Okay, pin is in. The pin, it's way too high still. That's interesting. You'd think it would. Those pins are the tightest pins I've ever worked with. Okay, so that's better. See how it came down here and it's below the level? So now I'm gonna tap it just a little bit more because I like it to be just a little bit lower. These pins are really sticking. Okay, so let's warm it up again. I can see that's hard. It might actually be too high, which is okay, because I can always knock it back down. What you looking for?
The knife.
The knife? That's a good question.
Oh, you said it.
There it is.
Okay.
All right, let's see where it comes in now. Can you see this? Oh, sorry, I just kicked the camera. Let's, working on video is so much fun. Okay, right about here you can see. And I like that. That's not bad at all. Okay? It's lower than, some people like it higher. I don't. Basically, this controls your level of the gas going into the engine. And if you're running a race, you would want this higher to make sure that you have good gas flow. But for normal riding, this is just fine. See how it goes right there? Let's do the other one. That's good. Okay. It do get warm quick, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good. All right. Can you see me here? Yes, all right. Okay, it's still just a little high. Let's make sure we got the pins all the way down. That's a little high. I'm going to hit it a little bit more. Warm that just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think that came up a little. Let's try it again. Wow, this thing's hot.
Yep.
It do get hot quick. Yeah, that's good. It's a little higher than the other one, but not bad. It's below the level of the bowl. And let's see, if you can see that, right? Yeah, okay. I'm perfectly happy with that. So between the two of them, that one, this one's probably the better of the two. This one is okay, but it's a little bit lower than the other. You see that? But not much. Okay, so these are set right. We're going to put these carburetors together now, hang them on the bike, and try for another first start.
Let's see.
All right, so we have the carburetors all cleaned and put back together. We have the gas tank on, gas flow to the carburetors. We got good trickle. We have electrons. All we have to do is turn the ignition on and give her a shot. Here we go. Kevin is going to start the motorcycle. Doesn't sound as good as it did before. Ignition's on.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's think.
That's a bummer.
It's interesting, we don't have that light on again. We got headlight. We got tail light. We know we have ignition. We've got gas. We've got tickle.
Yeah, I didn't get a tickle over here.
We got tickle over here.
Yeah, which should be enough,
I'll
right?
try a little choke.
Yep.
Okay, I'll try some choke, and then we will take a break and think a while. Interesting. That's weird.
Yeah. No,
All right.
I'm trying.
Let's call it a break. I'm hungry. I'm gonna do lunch,
Yep.
and we'll call it a day right now. So the light just came on. When you were fooling with that connection, the tail light just came on. You know that?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. I don't think the ignition's on. That's interesting. Let's try it again.
A 1/4 turn to the right on that switch.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't like the way that happened. Watch that tail light. Something. That's just on and off.
Yeah.
It's just coming on and off right now.
Uh-huh.
We shouldn't have the light on. That's draining electricity. Now we have ignition on, nothing else.
Right.
Try it one more time. I don't like that tail light being on. That should only be on with lights on.
Oh yeah. Got
the end of this repair effort. Like I just said, we're going to suggest 2 new tires, new battery, the AMR anti-drain down mod, and if we do that, then we will recommend also to put in a solid state ignition. Other than that, actually, we could put the seat on this thing right now and pump some air into the tires and the battery and probably ride it, but I'm not going to. So we want a new battery, 2 new tires, minimum, and let the client decide what else he wants. Cool. So it's right about, let's see what time it is. 1:45. Actually,
1.
it's actually 5 to 1. And we started, what, 9 o'clock?
9 o'clock.
Not bad. All right, cool. 4 hours, got it running. Can't beat that with a stick.